Everyone meaning no one currently in chat, but that's fine. Or exercise in me practicing things. Today, we have a coaching to be. It is from Clark, sir, for sending it on very short notice. And it's going to be a Widowmaker with Pharah, which actually, going through it the first time, it's actually really good because there's a lot of little like positioning things that I can point out. Maybe not a lot of. There's some positioning things in it, which is really good because Widow and Pharah rely a lot on positioning. They can't save themselves if they actually are super out of position. Turn on my light. Also, my camera's like facing the top of my head. Bad. Okay. Professional. Alright, so let's get into it. Oh, there's no audio because of, there's copyright music in it. Just window selection, taking a look. Does. Looks like we're in a good position. Go here. Still think this team comp's pretty good because you can put a lot of pressure with Genji and the Widow. Gives Soldier a lot of room, gives your supports a lot of room too. Speed things up a little. Just kind of spawn for the next second. Although I do like that you're not going up to the spawn door right at the beginning. Because that's what I love to do, is I just love to watch and see if there's a Widow, right? There's a little red outline. So far we're starting off good. This is always a good place to start with Widow. Move forward. Good pick off on the Soldier. But they do have Mercy, and this is new Mercy, so it's gonna be immediate res back. And I like that you keep moving. That's the biggest thing with Widows. If you stick somewhere, they can just figure out where you are and kind of put you down. See, I think with the Soldier being resurrected, I don't think moving to that closest edge was a good plan because he does have a lot of cover on you. It's kind of bad, especially when you have to stand in the open like that. Yeah, just picking multiple positions and going through. It's really good to see. Well, obviously, that Widow's not just going to stand in the spot. I think this is why attack Widow has such an advantage over defensive Widow. Defensive Widow has to stand still so much and just can get picked off. Really good hedge. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty standard point one. Nothing too crazy. I think here is where start to see them. Higher. Yes, it's too bad that your team's not on the same wavelength and trying to punish that, because that Ana was way too far out. So yeah, now they've switched Winston. Try and get rid of you. Good time to switch. I found like throughout the game, you actually know when to switch. Super good. Don't let yourself get I guess, held down by trying to force a hero into something. Let it work. See, right here is fine. Like right now, just getting a little bit ahead and just kind of poking. But you got to be careful now. I think as much as it's good that you can just sit and do damage to Mercy, more experienced would actually come around and just rotate in and take you as a... And see, this is kind of where I'm going to go back a couple. Like, when you kind of get into the skirmish here, I would almost say that instead of going up like this and floating here, I think the better place to sit is right around here, like on top of this platform. And, well, I guess not over here. Where you want to be, it's kind of in that area, or kind of back here like this. Why? Because if you look, McCree's sightline on your head kind of ends here. And actually, let's move the video forward a tad. Hovering, 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 and then right here. This, it's like I have a giant dick on the screen. Brilliant. Okay. So see this is kind of a weird point where you're just kind of floating in no man's land, because I'll draw the areas where McCree can see right. It's like there, all the way back like this. And then like this whole area here, right? McCree can see you. So you're in the middle of this big window. And you are at 80 hit points also. This is also a big issue when it comes to, I guess if you're at 200 hit points and you floated here for a couple seconds, that would be fine. But this is where you die, and it makes perfect sense why you die, because you're just right playing into what their team's doing. Because their team fight, they have a team fight going on, like kind of here, but they have the Ana here, here. So both heroes that are hit scan and can take you down kind of easily are actually just sitting right in plain view of you. This is where I would say just kind of try and hover over in this section, right? Because then you end up with a much better position, and you can still, from here, you can fire down onto this team fight. And I think that's the more important thing that you should be taking right now, is just that team fight, rather than pushing your rockets back into the Ana or the McCree. And even from up here, you can kind of poke your head out this way. And like if you jump off the edge and float back and forth like here, you're able to see the Ana, right? You're still able to shoot her. It's pretty great in this case. Yes. Moving on. Yeah. See, the McCree hits you right there. And also, it was kind of a fight that was already won. Pushing forward wasn't going to... Again, I don't know if pushing this far forward is so good, because if you look, I'm going to do kind of a draw. Let's kind of go there. So you have... So say this is the blue is going to be like the tree, right? Have this section here, and you just came from here. So it kind of goes in a corner like this, right? But you have this this goes in. They're coming in this way, right? Come around like this. Go with yellow, and then we'll say, okay, so you're coming in like this, right? And then you drop down here. Well, their team, especially all of their hit scan, right? You can see the Anna's there. Right? So you have their whole team kind of standing here, and the Reinhardt's here. Yeah, the Reinhardt is obviously overextended and would be a super good target to hit. But look at the line of sight that they have on you. They have, like, their whole team. Just look at you right here, when the rest of your team is over here. Your team's out of line of sight from them, so you're the odd man out here and shoot you. Rather, just a better path to take would have been, instead of doing that, is going over, just kind of perching up here, and then maybe using your boost to get up and over, and then you can shoot over that Reinhardt shield, right? You can hit, like, if you're up on the box, up under the health pack, right? You're up here. Pharah. And then Reinhardt is over here. With this. You're standing up here. All you have to do is, like, hop to about here, right? And then you... Well, I mean, okay, this isn't just... You can go higher than the screen on. But, you know, it doesn't take much for you to have line of sight. Especially with the boosters. And then have basically free rockets onto Reinhardt. Moving on. So, and we'll see this Genji come back, because he's been doing a lot of work for their team. And we'll see that come back later. I like the boop. I like the idea of trying to knock him into the pit. By a little bit, but that's fine here. Yeah. Again, you're playing ahead of the Reinhardt, which kind of... You're dying when you're going too far ahead, and that's like the biggest thing here. Is that you're going into the fight on this much boosters. Yeah, sure, you have this, but go into a fight with like 0 boosters, you're gonna fall right back in, and that's kind of where they want you when they're spawning, because they're all gonna come out of these 2 doors, because that's the... I don't know, like, in maps there's just this weird thing where people just all go out the same door. I don't know why, there's just the one way that people like to go, and that seems to be it. And so they're all just gonna come out of those doors, and you're suddenly gonna be stuck up over in here, this area, with their whole team. Kind of unfortunate. Yeah, see, you hit the roof, which is kind of unfortunate. I think if you wouldn't have hit the roof, it would have been better. Yeah, their whole team just kind of came out. Have much of a chance. But I do believe your team still pushes it through, so it's not too of an issue, but something to keep in mind for stallier matches around King's Row, because it can be bad at this point.